Hello, my name is Grumpy. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye.
Anyway, let's watch BoredGamer's video.
Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen ship production and development update. I get a ship ton of questions, each month. It's a pun. On have there been updates on X ship? When is a ship planned to come out? Is it even in production? So every so often I do a video update and look at what Cloud Imperium have said recently about ships in concept, production, etc. So just recently, with Star Citizen Alpha 3.17.4 and the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, we had 3 ships added to the game, which are now flyable, drivable, whatever you want to call it. I suppose flyable. The Corsair, obviously that exploration ship, really cool ship, really like it. Got the C8R medical Pisces as well, and we've got the new starter ship, the Cutter. Alpha 3.18, we know is going to bring at least the Vulture into the game, but there are also at least 4 ships and vehicles that are yet unannounced that Cloud Imperium are working on. So,
John, like John said, the BoredGamer is on the CAG's payroll. Okay, so I had a few arguments with BoredGamer on his channel. We never actually talked. I guess that I would like him as a person, and that's it, and that we will be cool. But those comments, do you know that for a fact? Because the reason why I'm asking you that is because people are saying the same thing for Space Tomato. They're saying the same thing for, some people are saying that Chris Roberts is Salty Mike's real dad, and they have proof for that. And yes, that is crazy compared to this, but do you understand that 43,000 views in 2 days is gonna get him $800? This video is gonna get him $800 because this video is gonna be alive for maybe the next 10 days, and then he's gonna post another video, and then that he has fucking 200,000 subscribers. Why would he need to be on CAG's payroll? It's the same with Morphologists, it's the same with Space Tomato, it's the same with any other content. For me, people have been saying for fucking years now that I have been on a payroll of another dev team or whatever, that and I'm paid to bring down CAG. I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm earning the money that BoredGamer is earning. No, I'm not. I don't have 7,000 subscribers yet. My top watched videos have, in a year, had 43,000 views. I can show you that here. So, no. Where's the popular? 61,000 views is my most watched video. 55, 36. That's in 8 months. 7 months, 10 months, a year ago, right? And those are my top earners because they're living longer than the rest of the videos, right? 25K, 23K, etc. But him making a video that gets 43,000 views in 2 days, that earns him a lot of money. And yes, I know I saw CAG staff wearing BoredGamer's logo on t-shirts because they probably got the merch, or maybe he gave it to them. But that still does not mean that he's on the payroll. And why would they pay him if they have their own channel that has more views and more stuff? How is that going to work? How is that transaction going to work?
we could see something new turn up with the 3.18 patch. In fact,
you're on the way to 10K, and then 50K will be in the same amount of time. I mean, you say that, but I'm not sure. It depends on a lot of things, but yeah.
It's actually probable.
I'm roading free ground.
But let's talk about some of the other ships that are very...
I'm not like saying that I'm in a bad spot. I'm okay. I'm not really liking the YouTube revenue, but because I need more watch hours, I need more ads and all that shit. But he is getting a lot of money for those videos, just like Morphologist and Space Tomato, etc. So they're not paid shills. That's what I'm saying. They're not paid to shill. Most of them are not even shilling. I don't know BoredGamer that much, but I can tell you from experience and from talking to Space Tornado and from watching his streams and from like listening to what he's actually saying in his videos and in his streams, he's not shilling. Morph is not shilling either. So we have a different approach to making videos, right? Like he's gonna concentrate and focus on the good stuff, on the future, and how everything is gonna look, because the promises. He's gonna focus on the promises, right? And he's gonna tell you that it's gonna there's a bright future with Star Citizen. But me, I know about the past, and I learn from the past, and I'm just like this, and that's why I'm making videos like I'm making videos like this, basically like this stream right here. Like I'm trying to be objective, and I'm trying to be like in the middle. Honestly, CAG in the past year gave me too much bad things to talk about than they gave me good things. Once we see salvage, I hope that I'm gonna make a video where I'm just happy that we have salvage and that it's working. And yes, it's gonna be an issue that like it's still just hull scraping and hull munching and all of that. But if it's working and if it's good, I'm gonna make a happy video, right? So
that Clan Imperium are sort of working on, whether that's reconcepting, they're in production, or whatever. The Polaris, the mighty torpedo corvette. I think this ship is going to be the center of a lot of people's fleets.
Yeah, I'm cynical. I'm critical. I'm critical of the game and the game's development and the money spent and the time that has passed with us having nothing, basically. We had a fucking whole year with a single patch. And here, 135 people are sitting in this stream waiting on the patch to drop so they can try it themselves and so they can see if it's good or not. Like, we're just waiting for the PTU, and we know that the PTU is going to be broken as fuck. And we're going to probably get like 50, 30Ks in the first 5 minutes. But as I said, I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm also a realist. BoredGamer is a optimistic person. And some people, honestly, like Jeroen, and we're going to watch his video while we wait on the PTU. Some people are just happy with the state of the game. And that's okay. Because what we have right now is what they need from a game like this. And you got to understand that. If you do not understand that, then you're the same as them when they tell you, well, you should stop playing. You're obviously not understanding that this is an alpha. Where's your cut? Since we teamed up at all. I think it's time to remove him and block him from the channel because there's no cuts. But yeah, I thought, Knight Rider, that you worked here on CAG's payroll, right? Legion said, I'm critical towards CAG for its decision-making on priorities, but at the same time, I know how hard and long it can be. I know. I worked... I didn't work. I worked on like smallish games. I was supposed to work. There were some talks about me working on Squad, but they got a better guy for that because that guy, I think he's from like, he's Czech or something. That guy had all the guns pre-recorded already. He's a gun nut and he had a lot of shit. So yeah, I had some experience with that. I have an experience with working with like big teams on TV shows and shit like that, but in the end, like, you can see that the project is mismanaged. Like, imagine me working for a TV show and then figuring out that, like, I don't know, the music does not need to be like, we were working on one concept of music, like making a fucking metal, whatever, and then we realized that metal is not going to work in that TV show genre, right? Or TV trailer or whatever, it doesn't matter. So that's the things that like piss me off with this game and this game's development. And I don't know why we're like talking about all of this shit while we're trying to watch BoredGamer's video. Anyway.
Mixture of mission running and combat, and you want to run something small to medium sized with your friends, I suppose. It is a Corvette, it is pretty big. Beyond its current reconcepting phase, the Polaris doesn't have any more work scheduled in for it yet anyway. This could change in the very near future, but we recently saw its newly planned interior. The ship is split across 2 decks. It's got a big bridge now with nearby escape pods, hangar for medium fighter, cargo bay, big old cargo bay. Looks like it holds sort of 15 crew.
See, like here, I can hear a guy that is excited about the ship that he's going to see at some point in the game. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to ask when, because I want to see it. The perspective is the same. He's excited about the ship because he wants to see it. I want to see it too, but I'm asking when, and he's happy with just like having a concept.
A med bay with what looks like 2 tier 2 sort of med beds. It's got a massive engineering section and captain's quarters and sort of CO's office and quarters and a scary torpedo bay. They have made the Polaris a little bit bigger as well. The Banu Merchantman is a floating marketplace / car.
Management seems to be what's worse at CAG from what I have seen and heard. Yeah, but also they're doing great because they have earned more than 100 million this year. So their management is bad for us, the backers and the gamers. It's great for them.
Argo hauler. It's one of the oldest ships that has yet to be completed. It's currently being worked on with work scheduled going into June 2023. However, as with pretty much all the other ships in the game, it's very possible that they could pause production on it and at least some of the team that's working on it be retasked with other vehicles and environments and locations, points of interest that have a higher priority. That said, the ship has seen a lot of work through its reconcepting phase and white box and moving towards grey boxing for a lot of bits for it. The exterior is looking like it's made the most progress. We've seen its planned bridge, the crew living areas, little shrine sort of prayer area, turret access, hangar bay, large cargo hold. I'm really looking forward to being able to stock and semi-automate my shops aboard this ship because that's what the idea of it is. It's a bit of a cargo hauler. It's also, you can land it somewhere or dock it with something and then people come aboard and buy goods from your stalls there. The ship has a load of artists.
All right, so it's not being worked on. So that's the main comment here. I don't know. I'm not going to defend BoredGamer because maybe he made this video before that. Maybe he didn't hear that. Maybe he still thinks that it's still being developed. I don't know. Also, I gotta be honest, Junk Rule didn't really say that it's done and it's not like they're not gonna develop it anymore. He said that they were thinking about putting a pin into that ship, but also we know what that means, right?
And designers working on it, 13 at last count. And even if it does keep on being in production all the way up until June, there's probably still quite a bit more that they will need to do after that to get it in game. I think if you're very lucky, you could see it.
I'm not a fan of BMM either.
2023, if it is
Legion.
sort of going straight all the way through the pipeline into sort of like production.
What? Sport?
I think if you're very lucky, you could see it at the end of 2023. If it is sort of going straight.
I mean, if they're still working on it, then yes, but
all the way through the pipeline,
they're probably not.
Into sort of like production and then completion. The Argo SRV.
This ship is going to happen probably in the next patch. You're not blocked anymore.
Is a space tow truck, and it's got a powerful tractor rig. So art and design team.
I'm honestly fairly excited about the STD or SRV because. Yeah, tractor beams and tractor beams on ships because once it gets its tractor beam, all the ships are going to get tractor beams.
Teams have been working on the ship.
At least that's what they told us.
and have work planned on it up until early February 2023 with the EU vehicle content team at least. We do know that Cloud Imperium want to get large-scale tractor beams in-game, and we hope that we're going to see this relatively soon as part of the ongoing cargo refactor. This ship won't just be for towing other ships, though. It's going to be sort of obviously helping ships out of atmosphere, but also aiding in mining, salvage, and cargo movement. It's going
to be really good for cargo
as well. Crusader Spirit series, the C1, E1, and A1. These are competitors to the Cutlass and Freelancer series with cargo, VIP transport, and bombing gameplay, respectively. The ship has a 50-week set of work wrapping up June 2023, and it's quite possible the ship will be close to being done by then. So
unless they postpone it like they did with the Legionnaire.
Might be a Q2, Q3 release. I love this as a potential upgrade from sort of like maybe you get your starter ship, then move on to an Avenger Titan, and then move on to a Crusader C1 rather than a Freelancer or a Cutlass Black. And
I think the cut is still better.
I just think they look great. The Yoyopoa Santok Yai. This is the Xi'an medium fighter. We recently saw a top-down view of the ship in a sneak peek from Cloud Imperium. So this has a 25-week set of work wrapping up in June 2023 again. It will be interesting to see where this ship lands in the meta. These ships are supposed to be like a bit different from other ships, be they alien.
So this ship is going to be much more maneuverable than your average medium fighter. It's going to be as maneuverable as the Cartual.
Or human, because they sort of have all these like...
and I understand why this has 43,000 views in like 2 days, because people want to see ships more than anything else.
Thruster rig stuff going on, and it's sort of more strafey is the idea. The Origin X1. This is the elusive luxury floating bike. The vehicle feature team are working on this January, February 2023, and then that's getting more work from the US vehicle content team in June 2023.
We just watched Kiwi. We just watched Thurston Live.
Very well be a sort of Q2, Q3
we finished like
more likely release
half an hour ago
for that floating bike. Some capital ship stuff. So the Idris and Javelin, they've seen a lot of work. They do require server meshing and some more work before going into players' hands, though. I would expect that Cloud Imperium want to get the resource management system done and in our grubby little mitts before they push out these ships to players. They are apparently not being held back for Squadron 42. However, there may be bits that are completed closer to sort of Squadron 42's launch for the ships, and things with like the Idris, well, Squadron 42's Idris is actually the Idris M, and it's a very specific one. And same with the Javelin.
Did you see that? I don't know which video this is from, but he does not have a helmet.
To the Idris M,
and pop!
And it's a very
there it is. It just pops on.
Like the Idris, well, Squadron 42's Idris is actually the Idris M, and it's
why would they fucking release this video?
One, and same with the Javelin. These are the interiors are going to be a little bit different because they are military models, and they are sort of going to have props and things set up for Squadron 42, whereas the civilian versions, the Idris P and Javelin Civilian, shall we call it, they are going to be a little different and will need a bit more work before being ready. And
so Bored is right to a degree, but also they said that even if they can make an Idris right now, it would be just like a waste of time. That's like a quote from Jared, because in the end that Idris would look like oversized Gladius, because it would be just a gunboat and that's it. So one of the reasons why they're not working, at least what they're saying, why they're not working on what's it called, big ships, capital ships, is because of resource management and engineering and all that shit that needs to happen before capital ships to have some gameplay inside of them. We also need that for the older ships and the smaller ships. But honestly, one more thing that they said was, if I remember correctly, is that the Idris, for example, is ever changing because they're changing the metrics and everything with the Idris at all times because, Squadron 42 needs it. So if it grows in size because they need another room in the Idris or whatever, they can't, like, if they had a model inside the PU, they would need to update that, and that would just not work. That would just not work. And but why not release the other big ships? And then we get to the Polaris and why we need the Polaris, and like there's no point in having a Polaris or whatever. So yeah, it's just like a fucking cycle. A
Remember, these
loophole,
interiors are
not a hole, just a
massive.
loop of like.
And we also
but
never.
do we
really
need that? No.
Imperium's marketing.
Do we
moves.
want that?
They could
Yes.
change all that. They might be.
But do we need that?
Going to
No.
hold it back for Squadron 42.
Is
Now
that
they
true?
might just randomly decide that.
The thing that we need is more game loops in the ships that we have in the game right now to be interactable with. You like, what can you interact in? Like, what can you interact with in the Constellation series? The 2 turrets, the 3 seats, and maybe you can sit on the chair and you have beds and that's it. Like, there should be more to that ship. There should be more to the Freelancer. There should be more to all the other ships. That's like the gameplay that we need for the ships, and then gameplay loops in the game. And then we can. I just saw Knight Rider post the fucking terms of service. Amazing. And then we can talk about like having an actual game.
The Hull C. This is a pretty big cargo hauler that will.
Yeah, we have the snub ship. We got it 13, 14, something
can be
like
used
that.
for smuggling as well. It can morph when it's not carrying cargo so that it can land in lots more locations. But when it's got cargo, it's got these big spindles that sort of hold loads of cargo. The ship is almost complete. Clan Imperium were just waiting for the cargo factor to come online with Alpha 3.18 to sort of get the Hull C then finished. And
I'm not sure about that. No. So the Hull C was postponed because the Hull C, the metrics of the Hull C in the interior were completely wrong. It was done before, like they made it before, but like they weren't happy with it because the NPCs were getting stuck inside of it. There was just not enough space or room inside the ship itself to move around. So yeah,
more locations, but when it's got cargo, it's got these big spindles that sort of hold loads of cargo. The ship is almost complete. Clan Imperium were just waiting for the cargo factor to come online with Alpha 3.18 to sort of get the
so it got scrapped and they just like redid it, and I'm not sure if it's even close to being done
finished, and we could actually see it as part of a 3.18.x patch in my opinion, or the next major patch thereafter, so 3.19, or if they skip 3.19, 4.0.
That is
we know some design
thinking,
work wrapped up in November for the ship as well. Really looking forward to it. We know the 600i is having a big reconcept, especially if it's sort of modular section. So most of the ship is sort of parallel between the touring and exploration versions, but the rear section of the ship is pretty modular now. The luxury touring version has a full-on spar, while the exploration version makes much better use of its space for that sort of exploration-y role, with a big old cargo bay that can hold a tank if you want, and an armory. So exploration is quite good at sort of mission running as well, and being very multi-role. The ship's split over 3 decks. It's a big cool ship, especially with the changes that they're making with it. On a bit more of a side note, the current resource management work looks to wrap up April 2023. So this system will handle resources for stations, settlements, cities.
I mean, yeah, it's going to lead to the A90J rework at some point.
And all other locations. It will also unlock engineering station gameplay for ships, letting players manage power, CPUs, fuel, shields, coolant, etc. It's needed for damage control and sort of physicalized components and a load of other things, including life support systems. It's a huge amount of gameplay there, including true multi-crew gameplay, which has me really excited. That's going to massively change ships, and obviously they want to get all ships up to that sort of standard.
But we still don't know when that's going to happen.
It's going to take a while, and there might be quite a lot more work after that work wraps up in April, because that could just be for the sort of prototype actually fully working with the Hammerhead. I think was the first ship they've planned to get working with that.
The Hammerhead, and it's probably going to be the Corsair and the newer ships. But the issue is we don't really know when that's going to happen. And once that happens, when we get resource management, the engineering part of it is just going to be like changing the fuses, which is not what CG intended in the first place. So it's going to be a tier 0 again. Space
mines are being worked on, and work for that looks to wrap up in May 2023. So this is going to be the ability for players and certain ships to release different mines. This could mean that we see mines being able to be deployed out of cargo bays, or we'll see like a smaller mine layer ship.
All right, guys, tell me, because I can see that you're talking about Knight Rider in the chat. Are you pissed off? Because I mean, what did he do? I didn't see anything. I can take out his mod rights.
Turn up.
Oh my god!
Or that the Nautilus is being fast.
He just deleted fucking 5 messages.
Sort of
amazing.
And MF.
All right,
rework,
that's the end of the reign of Knight Rider.
Has sort of plans wrapping up in June 2020.
At least for this chat.
Both.
But thank you, Knight Rider, for joining us. So, yeah, you just bring me joy.
Ships MFDs,
every time you're
building
here.
box UI technology, as well as completely redesigning them in an effort to make them more customizable, better matched to ship aesthetics, and better at serving ship gameplay. We also know that Cloud Imperium are working on a massive amount of ship combat and quantum travel changes. So, and that's the new master mode stuff, but that's also a huge amount of new meta and sort of balance changes, additions to the game.
Well, that's the point, Bomb Krieger. That's the point. That's why I added him, because he's gonna ban everyone for no fucking reason. Because you gotta feel, Knight Rider touched me. You gotta feel like you're on a spectrum, right? Because we all are fucking masochists here, right?
I'm sort of bringing everything up to gold standard. Please check out my video on that if you are so inclined. We do also know that Cloud Imperium are working on a mid to high tier RSI mining ship.
I love you, Knight Rider.
So that's going to be exciting for some. But unfortunately, there are no...
Yeah, BoredGamer thinks that the content will snowball immediately here, but that's not going to happen.
Updates on a lot of...
Like, server meshing is not going to open any floodgates, because for the floodgates to open, we need a ton of fucking content.
Ships and vehicles at the moment. So things like the Perseus or Titan suits and the Apollo, though Cloud Imperium did say that the RSI sort of galaxy is very modular and they're looking at modular gameplay. That ship obviously also has medical gameplay tied to it. Yeah, there might be a bit of a look at the Apollo, maybe, if we're lucky, in the not too distant future. There's nothing new on the Endeavour, even though modularity is being talked about again. Hopefully, Cloud Imperium will start showing off modules for the Caterpillar in the next year, maybe. But yeah, the Expanse, the Legionnaire, the Odyssey, the Liberator, Raylan, the G12s, the Vulcan, the Rangers, the Krakens, the Pioneer, the Genesis, the massive Orion, and the rest of the Hull series remain unaccounted for currently. No new news on them, but that's actually not that many ships when you consider that we have well over 120 ships and vehicles in game already, and Cloud Imperium are obviously building a lot more currently, so hopefully they'll clear out that sort of remaining backlog in the next few years. But I would like some more updates, and we are going to be getting a lot more. A big sort of indicator of what Cloud Imperium are working on for 2023 in early February 2023. That's sort of when they will do all of their scheduling plans, or the scheduling plans will be finished, and they'll sort of share them with us with the roadmap update. At least that is the hope. But what do you think? Are you excited for any of the ships that are being worked on? Are you disappointed?
I mean, Bored, I'm excited for the ships, yes.
Ship? What is your...
I'm excited for the game loops more.
Your favorite ship that is currently in concept or development? Do you think Cloud Imperium is working on the sort of older ships enough and clearing out that backlog fast enough? Or do you think they are far too focused on sort of new ships and selling stuff rather than working on older stuff? What ships do you want to hear updates on? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
All right. Thank you, BoredGamer, for the video. I don't know if this is copyrighted, so that's why I stopped it here.